then back-to-back keynotes can be tiring, but at least we'll try to kind of make the conversation live and insightful. The topic is fairly interesting of making your restaurant future ready, building experiential brands. My name is Rajat. I'll be moderating the session. As a brief introduction, I'm a partner with Carney, a management consulting firm. Over the last decade, I've had the opportunity to serve large F&B chains, QSR, and cafe chains on a variety of topics, including strategy, operations efficiency, customer engagement, and so on. The topic is fairly interesting, and I am joined by a number of prestigious industry stalwarts from F&B sector as well as hospitality sector. Would be good if I would request all my fellow panelists to introduce themselves, and then we can proceed towards the session.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am Chef Vardhan Marwa. I'm the youngest of the lot here. So I'm very grateful that you guys thought I can sit on this chair with you all. By profession, I'm a chef, and I run a restaurant called Faro in Pune. That's a passion project of mine that we've recently opened 6 months ago. Apart from that, I run 5 other restaurants in Pune as the culinary director, and all of these restaurants come under different categories, and we're catering to different audiences all around the city. That's about me. I mean, I've had a very kind and humble journey where all these stalwarts and the icons of the industries have mentored me, and that's why I'm here today. So that'll just be it for the day.
Thank you, Vardhan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rajan Sethi. I'm the Managing Director of Bright Hospitality Private Limited. My team and I run a couple of F&B brands across the country, the Grand Trunk Road, the GT Road, Ik Punjab, Omo, Espressos Any Day, and AM PM Cafe and Bar are a few of our brands. Been in the industry for the last 17 years, and as Vardhan said that he's the youngest in the panel, I am very proud to say that I am the eldest one here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Chef Dipinder. I am the Director Culinary for Kula. It's a modern European restaurant in Mehrauli, and also a business head, and also a chef partner. So a lot of titles. I would like to thank Restaurant India for the opportunity to speak here. Looking forward. Thank you all.
Hi, good evening. So I think Vardhan has really pushed it, that the youngest, and you've done it with the oldest. I can only say, hi, my name is Sabi, and good evening. And I can only say that this is my 33rd year cooking as a chef. I won't go down in the chronological age part of it. Yeah, oldest and youngest. So 32 years of being in the hospitality industry, cooking in various kitchens in 6-7 cities across the country, still actively cooking. I'm representing the IFCA Young Chefs Forum of India, so I'm also the young president of Indian IFCA, which is the Indian Culinary Federation Association, representing a lot of young chefs. I'm not young, but representing young chefs. So I have been a chef in a white jacket, cooking, representing, talking, bringing out the chefs in the forefront of forums like this, and I'm very lucky and happy to be here today discussing about how to keep our restaurants going into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabi. And indeed, we do have a very exciting panel. Coming to the topic of today's discussion in terms of making your restaurant future ready, I guess it starts with customers, because the customers is what consume, and they are here today and they want to kind of consume your brand, which deals with innovation, because there is innovation. Every business has to keep reinventing itself, and so do the restaurant business as well. And innovation can be in a variety of forms. Most often gets talked about is food or menu innovation. We have so many chefs here, and obviously for any restaurant to keep itself exciting, they have to innovate. It can be innovation in flavors, innovation in launching new items or fusion foods. A lot of newer concepts kind of taking the market, and hence what the restaurant should offer. Similarly, innovation can also be from a technology standpoint, given AI is changing the things, and both front of the house as well as back of the house is another place where innovation takes place. A third dimension to innovation is consumer engagement, and I've seen a lot of consumer restaurants doing innovative marketing innovations, be it coffee rave parties or interesting out of home billboards and different ways and means to attack, right? So in a business, every aspect that touches the consumer one way or the other is an innovation, and would be really interesting to hear thoughts on what innovations are we or are you driving in your restaurants, behind the counter or even ahead of it. Vardhan, maybe we can probably start with yourself.
So, today's diners, I think they don't just want to go out and have food anymore. They are going out because for them it's an escape from the reality. They want an experience altogether. It's all about immersive dining spaces that are popping out all around the country now. Be it a coffee shop, just like how you mentioned a coffee rave happening, or experiential dining where when you enter the place you feel like you're not in India and you are in some other country. Restaurants are pushing the envelope right now. When it comes to me, I am right now based out of Pune, Maharashtra, where the market is very challenging but fun at the same time. You've got different kind of people that you're catering to. You have the entire IT sector, you've got the youngsters, and then you've got this entire creme de la creme of Pune that you need to cater to. So when it comes to the projects that we do, I run a brewery, which is a Janta product where anyone and everyone can come in, grab a beer, have good food, relate to it, and no khichdi over there. Very easy and simple. Then I've got an high energy bar where people who want to come for great cocktails come, drink, party, and relax. Then I've got a bistro setup where families, friends, kitty parties, all of these things happen. It's called Murphy's in Pune, Murphy's Bistro. And then my passion project comes in, which is all about the immersive dining space, which I've always wanted to create. It's called Faro. And Faro for me is a very personal project. And Faro is actually a grain. So when we talk about restaurants being immersive, for me, it's all about storytelling over there. So when you enter that space, the whole vibe of the place is done in such a way that it reminds you of something very ancient, done in a modern manner. The food is also trying to get old, ancient things and reviving them in a certain style. That's what I see is happening right now. We've got some really good chefs around the country. If you talk about concepts like how we were talking about innovation is, you'll see now micro regional cuisines happening. Like for example, there's a restaurant in Mumbai called Eka. They're doing that. Mask, they're tying up with farmers, getting global recognition around the world for their menus where they're tying up with farmers. So I think us chefs are trying to get into it. Like for me, Faro is all about the journey of the grain. So when you enter Faro, what you expect from there is everything that will come from a region where Faro used to grow. And this ancient grain used to grow in Egypt, some parts of Turkey, some parts of India, some parts of Afghanistan, some parts of Italy. So you'll see a progressive dining space where I'm catering to all these cuisines, but in a very fun, very approachable manner. And each and every dish has a story behind it, has a purpose behind it. It's just not a fad that we're using Faro in each dish and calling it a healthy. It's nothing to do with that. So these kind of restaurants are very important in today's day and age, I feel. And the customers that are coming to me, they're very interested. They're very, though as a chef, there's a thin line between innovating and challenging or, intimidating your diner, which we're not doing now. We don't want the diner to get scared, but we want those excited seekers, adventurous diners out there to rather get excited and come and see, oh, I want to experience this. So that's what I'm doing right now.
So it's food plus a story, and that is the overall immersive consumer experience. Interesting. Rajan, given you are running a lot of brands, how do you tend to innovate and excite your consumers?
I think as Vardhan has put this, that dining is not about, people do not go to a restaurant just to eat now. This is a source of entertainment. I feel that the restaurant industry has taken the pie of entertainment in entertainment industry from the movie industry, from the cinema industry. People step out of their houses to eat to a restaurant to get entertained, right? So I feel there's a lot of innovation that a restaurant has to bring to the table, because people are not coming just to eat food there anymore. He cited examples of restaurants like Ekal, Mask. These are culinary stages, I would say. From the moment you enter, the way the menu is presented to you, the way the dishes are presented, the storytelling behind each and every dish, where the ingredient is coming from, how it is prepared, what techniques are being used. When it comes to innovation, I would just like to add one more point here, that innovation is not only about doing things new, it is also about revisiting what already exists and presenting it in a new way. For example, at one of our restaurants, Omo, which is a vegetarian farm to fork restaurant, um, how we innovate is that Omo is about global flavors, but it puts India first. So our promise was that we'll only use the produce which belongs to our country, to India. So it's India produce only, but the flavors are global. Now here comes the innovative part. For example, when we do our risottos, we have replaced arborio with Bengal's Gobindo Bhog rice. One of the maximum hottest selling flavors of ice creams is Belgian chocolate. So we have replaced Belgian chocolate with Kerala's Idukki chocolate. We have a very interesting coffee program where we buy raw green beans from remote northeast of our country, and we process the beans completely from the green bean to the cup from scratch in-house in front of our customers. So the customers get that sensory experience, how a green bean looks, how the hulling is done, how the parchment, the layer is removed from the bean, how the beans are segregated by hand, you know, beans that are coffee grade, beans that go in the kitchen, beans that go in the waste. The consumer, when they enter our restaurant Omo, they become a part of the process. And this is where the entertainment begins for them. It is not just a cup of coffee they're coming for, they're coming for the entire process. So I think that is an innovation that we have brought into Omo. It's been 4 years, and year on year, our sales and our customer base is only going up. And I'm very proud of that, because nowadays the main consumer for the restaurant industry, the spenders are Gen Z, and they are not loyal. They are not a loyal set of customers at all. Their loyalty changes overnight, right? So how do you make sure that your business is having sustainable and consistent foot traffic, is where the innovation comes handy. So it is not about selling food and drinks anymore. It is about innovating. It is about giving entertainment. It is about making the consumer part of your process. So I believe it's a very important topic now when it comes to running a business of a restaurant, of a cafe.
No, interesting. Absolutely. Given the experience plus fusion and the variety of concepts or experience of I'm being part of and I am living through that journey before the coffee comes to my table, I think very interesting. Dipinder, would love to hear your views in terms of how are you thinking about innovation?
I think Kula is a best example for the innovation in culinary world about food. We are always thrive in creating unique flavor, I would say, and it's always we are doing a lot of R&D in throughout the year. Every 6 months we change our menu entirely. Still, I'm working on a winter menu. It's coming up. So it's all about R&D, research, different unique flavors. For example, we have a salmon dish. So I created a dish, salmon, which is cured with vanilla and honey, and I used pink peppercorn to spice it up. And a lot of people rave about it, like they never seen this combination anywhere in the world. Again, we did right now we have a watermelon salad, which has infused with cinnamon. That is also one of a unique way of putting things. So one part is food, and also I would like to talk about innovation in tech, because our parent company of Kula is Team Computers, which is a IT company. So we are developing a software where AI is integrated with the camera. So where we are also, that camera will identify read the face recognition of a guest, if they are while eating, if they are happy or not, if they are anxious, if they are a little annoyed, that AI will figure out it's not a happy face, and it will give a, we have an app, it will identify or notify us that this table number 32, for example, this customer is not laughing, not enjoying. So we as a on floor, the person manager will go to on that table and check with the head captain or somebody like what's happening there, if everything is all right. We have cameras which will identify, between the guest and our staff. Also sees there, we have list of things we have put in into AI, algo you can say, which see lot of suspicious activities from our staff. Let's say they are using phone on a service time, standing two staff chatting with each other. That camera will identify with the help of AI and notify us that staff is not seriously serving to the guest. Also, we are like the service standards. Using AI and this camera, we can improve that drastically. So one is very important aspect which we as a brand, we are into behind this thing of making customer happy with using AI, not human intervention. Even I am here, I can get the notification and I can see if things are going well. So it's very important, I think. Future is with AI and everybody has to shift one day, otherwise they will lag behind. So food innovation is always there. We use a lot of sustainable products. Recently I have it's a dream of having different local ingredients to promote them in our menu. So a lot of people in Delhi don't know what is jhakia. It's from mountains, Assam rice. So these things we are getting it from that area, using in a fine dine European restaurant for better exposure. So a lot of Delhi good audience guests will figure out that these are also a very healthy product. Jangora, let's say, one more example I am thinking of. So I think it's very important about innovation, and it should be in the both part of experience of a guest, food and tech also. So I think that will be amazing, and everybody has to go behind it.
No, very interesting. I mean, interesting use cases of AI and technology to kind of read consumer faces. Are they happy? Or similarly to the staff, if they are gainfully employed and productivity is ensured. Very nice set of examples. I think one of the things that I will probe deeper as we move on is, I mean, changing the entire menu every 6 months is a very bold step. And whatever researches we have done, and this is a kind of a ethnographic research, as we call it in consulting parlance, where we've tested with consumers of what flavors do they like. And there is a very interesting dichotomy that comes that I like to try different flavors, but they should not be too different and should be somewhat familiar.
Yes,
so which
that's
means
very important.
I'm going outside to have outside food, so it has to be different from what I eat at home, but at the same time it should not be so different that I really don't enjoy it. So it's different yet familiar is the parlance. And that brings me to Sabi, in terms of, given as a chef, it's easier for us to say, innovate the menu, give us something new. Even my loyalist wants, I've tasted this cuisine 5 times, I've visited the restaurant 10 times. There is nothing new for me. And obviously the challenge for a restaurant is to keep innovating the menu so that the loyalist that comes in has every time a newer thing, which is tasty as well. So how do you kind of go about this as a chef, and what's your take on it?
Sir, before I answer this question, I have to tell you, when chef was talking ना मैं सोच रहा था अपने दिमाग में कि एक हफ्ता पहले मैंने गया हुआ था इनके रेस्टोरेंट पे और जो मेरा रिएक्शन था I was thinking I hope I'd only given happy reactions because the food was very good, no doubt. और मैंने ना I was literally in my mental memory was mapping कि यार ये डिश था हाँ it was very good I smiled ये डिश था so thank you मतलब I had no idea that this was नहीं तो और अच्छा रिएक्शन देता खाने के बाद कि वाह वाह क्या बढ़िया खाना था but yeah. Just kidding, chef. But food was very nice, and yeah, genuinely they're doing amazing work, and it was very exciting to see all the lovely innovation on the plate at Killa. It's one of the neighboring restaurants. While I was at Olive, the Killa had opened, so it's always had a fond memory of seeing Killa grow from. I think Priyam initially was at Killa, and then chef has taken over. It's been a beautiful journey of Killa. So, sir, to answer your question. If I understand correctly, you're saying that just rephrase that question for me quickly again once.
It's saying the food is saying innovative menu. How do you go about it, and how easy or difficult it is? Because there are a lot of new restaurant brands that are emerging. I think finalizing the menu and which is your star SKU in itself is a question. And then, how do we innovate so fast that, every 6 months, which is as bold as saying I change the full menu versus I keep adding newer and newer items to keep my customers, coming back and trying newer things, right?
Right. So, sir, there are two ways I will try to answer this question because I have been part of some of the most legacy/luxury brands of this country. Olive happens to be one of them. I was employee 1 and culinary director when I semi-retired and left the company. And then I'm also part of brands like the Specialty Group where I'm doing restaurants, which is India's largest listed restaurant company. I'm also had been about 6 or 7 years, I was part of Big Brewski Group, which is the largest brewery. I've set up Bob's, which is the most popular bar brand of South. So I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've done extremely luxury, high-end dining, sit-down / 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 APC meals. And going down to Bob's where our APC is $500-600, including an alcoholic beverage and 2 plates of snack. So I've seen it from both sides. Now, I think you have to know where you want to be. You can't be on either side. I think most of us make that mistake of, oh, I like that brand, I go to that restaurant, I also like eating it, like you said, na, बहुत ज़्यादा भी फर्क नहीं. Different चाहिए, but इतना भी different नहीं चाहिए. So I like eating it, I like that brand, so it should look like that. This food, because I like it, should be in my menu, and I like so and so chefs that dish, so I will try and put it here. So ये जो है ना perfect recipe of a khichdi. So this should not be the scene. A place which will be known and popular for breakfast can't be popular at dinner. This we have to accept it. And somehow most of us new entrepreneurs or new young minds that I'm seeing in the restaurant industry are not understanding. Yes, there will be an exception of a place which turns itself from a beautiful bistro into a rave, as chef mentioned. Coffee was an exciting one, coffee rave. There are few places like that, right? But most places which are known for breakfast will be good a breakfast place where I have always gone with my family to have a nice lunch or a nice brunch. I will have a memory of a lunch there, and an evening spot which is either a romantic dinner or a party space should retain like that. Try to be in all segments together is a challenge. And a lot of us try to do that and fail. That's probably one of the reasons a lot of new places shut down without understanding this, that you have to be within a particular framework. Because what I'm thinking and what signals I'm giving out are two different things. Your audience is seeing your signal from your social media, your marketing, your menu. I read your menu and make a vision of that place in my head, right? If I see a European menu, I think of a different vision. If I see an Indian menu, I think of a different vision. And once I land up there, if that place is having a rave party while they're serving Indian food, I'm not thoroughly confused. If they were doing a rave party and doing small canapé and cocktails, I'd love that place because I'm enjoying the overall scenario. Same thing happens, is what I've noticed, with our aspirations of APC or average check per cover or APD, both way we look at it. Now, at Bob's, why I give the example of Bob's, that at a 500 rupee APC, you can do 2 crore sales. And then at 3,000 rupee APC, I won't name the restaurant, you can do 50 lakh sales. Now, you have to decide which one you want to be. Do you want to do the experiential dining and be there and do your thing? Experiential dining, which is also what we were discussing with chef and chef here, that it is a very personalized space. It's your space. I am coming into your home. You're welcoming me into your home. So it is becoming immediately personalized, which means you have to be there, which means it can't grow as a space, as in it can't grow as a chain, it can't become another city. Maybe you can do one or two. There are only few examples like Chef Sergei Arola, who has 108 Michelin stars. It's a very rare example. In 5 continents, 108 Michelin stars, and he goes to one restaurant once a year. He's Superman, you know. There are examples, but very rare examples, because I'm in a personalized dining space. Then I have been part of a company like Olive, which for 12 years, which has grown in 5-6 cities, all Big Brewski, and now part of Big Brewski and I keep forgetting Big Brewski, as well as Red Rhino, 2 large brands that I represent from South, and the specialty group, which is known for Asian food, but now making an entry into an European. I have kept these places purely based on what I think everybody wants to eat or everybody wants to go to. Didn't want to make them so specific that it only kind of attracts a certain audience. Now, my journey across the world, living in Australia, working in Southeast Asia, studying in Europe and Paris, and then in US, I have never seen this insatiated hunger that Indians have to go to a different place. Back home in the US or in Australia or in Paris, I go back to the same bakery for 30 years and I still go back for that one sourdough bread. And I pray to God that the chef is alive for next 100 years and the recipe doesn't change. For that one damn sourdough bread. And there are so many such examples in the world that you will remember and talk about. We are all foodies, travel to eat across the globe. And I genuinely believe that India should have more such places. We do have in the Indian food segment, when we talk about Pune, I remember this place called Ahila Devi's Thali. I go there quite often just for that one mutton thali, the pressure cooker mutton. Now everybody is doing the pressure cooker story, but they were the first ones with just doing the mutton curry in a pressure cooker and rice. Now, there's so many such places in India which will have such stories to talk about. We may not have the story like chef has or chef has here, but a decent enough story to attract, and a food that will really satiate yourself, satisfy your soul, and will keep bringing you back. So my journey in 32 odd years have been to create such places which brings you back, and you come back for that happy memory. I remember so many people go back to Olive saying, oh, we had our first date there, and then we got married and we came for the cocktail party here, and now their kids are coming here on their first date. So some places it's like that. Similarly, Big Brewski has different stories. Cafe Mezuna and Sicilian, which are the 2 brands I'm heading part of the specialty group, they have this journey. But my journey has largely been not looking at people innovating, shutting myself off completely from innovation, not looking at trend. I look at trend as a 4-letter word, which I use quite often, otherwise in the kitchen, but not as a trend. And continuously, consistently do the basics again every day, because I find that basics goes missing very often. And in the name of fusion, in the name of trying to do creative, we are losing out on some very good recipes, very good produce, very good chefs and skills that was in this country, and constantly trying to ape things from all over the world, where the rest of the world is not aping anybody. They're just doing the same thing. Japan is still doing their high quality sushi and sashimi and not bothered about anybody else. So is Italy doing the same high quality pasta, pizza. So is Paris doing their high quality pastry and doesn't care about anybody else's innovation. They might change from one tonka bean to a vanilla bean, and that is the maximum innovation that person would do. Or from a rose macaron to a coconut macaron. And beyond that, nothing else. And take pride in doing that. I think we also should start taking pride in, well, as much as we love our stories, but we also start taking pride in our own food and probably talk more about it. Then talking more about food innovation probably will take us further in this journey.
No, very interesting and good takeouts, right? Go for fusion, but don't go for confusion. I think that's one. And obviously having a clear set strategy of what do I stand for, and sticking with it, because that is who I am rather than aping somebody else. So interesting thought. And kind of very related question to that would be, given there are so many brands, and yes, there is a Indian consumer always wanting to try new things or new places, what can I do as a restaurateur to attract, so something innovative in marketing, so that people come to my place, and once they are in, then give them that immersive dining experience so that they keep coming again and again. any of you who have any views on it will be happy to hear.
Yeah, so I would like to cite example of one of our restaurants called Ik Punjab. So as chef said that, Italians are doing the Italian food right in their restaurants. You see, in France, the French cooking is done right. They don't take pride in, doing fusion, bringing 10 techniques, new techniques, and doing, the things that way. But what we realize is that in our country, at some point of time, the restaurateurs started taking pride in doing fusion, bringing Western concepts, completely forgetting what lies in India. India is such a vast country. Every 100 kilometers, the produce changes, the cooking techniques changes, the landscape changes. Right? There's such a bounty, huge bounty of produce in our country. From Ladakh to Kerala, it's a complete different world within one country. So one of our restaurants, Ik Punjab, we decided that we will bring true flavors of Punjab on the table as the food was cooked, made, presented in the land of Punjab. Now there is a rider here. When we did the survey of the so-called Punjabi cuisine restaurants in Delhi and in the country, we realized that this food is not from Punjab. This is food of Delhi. See, when partition happened, I'm talking about undivided Punjab. Ik means, one in Punjabi. I'm talking about undivided Punjab. Just 20% of Punjab remained with India, 80% Punjab we lost to the other side of the border. But that food, this part of Punjab was primarily vegetarian and that part of Punjab was primarily non-vegetarian. And there was so much to that, there is still so much to that land, that geography, that we realized nobody is doing it. Tandoori chicken never belonged to Punjab. This was a dish invented in Delhi, in Daryaganj. And, butter chicken, dal makhani, the dishes did not belong to the land of Punjab. We started researching, studying, and even traveling to both sides of Punjab. And we realized that, my God, there is so much to Punjabi food, and what we have been doing so far was, nobody actually nobody even attempted to bring the true flavors of Punjab on the table. So this is where Punjab comes. But then as Vardhan started by saying this, we started a discussion by saying that food doesn't bring the customers to your door anymore. There has to be a much bigger reason for people to enter your door and stay and come again than food. Here comes the storytelling part. People nowadays are hiring consultants कि भी स्टोरी बताओ क्या बनाए, रेस्टोरेंट बनाना है, स्टोरी बताओ क्या बनाए, डिश आएगी क्या स्टोरी होनी चाहिए, इंटीरियर की क्या स्टोरी होनी चाहिए. And there are consultants who actually do that. Sabi, I'm sure you agree with me on that, right? Okay, so I think I should change the topic now. I don't want to cut his business short here. And then we realized,
Sir, you're making me popular. I'll probably get a few offers after this कि यार हमें भी आके बनाओ restaurant हमारे लिए और बताओ story क्या है. I'll tell about a story after this once you finish.
So then what we realized, that there is a massive story in my own family. Most of the Punjabis had gone through the process of migration when the partition happened. So both my mother and my father were born in Punjab that now belongs to the other side of the border. My father was born in Chakwal, my mother was born in Rawalpindi. My grandfather was serving the Indian Army. He was serving the Rajputana Rifles of the Indian Army. And we thought we have a fantastic story at home. And stories sell, right? So we converted Ik Punjab exactly how my grandfather's house used to be. So once you enter the restaurant, you feel as if you have entered somebody's living room. And that somebody is not just somebody, it is a retired army colonel. So that is the story of Ik Punjab. And when you see the food, there is no butter chicken, no dal makhani, no tandoori chicken. You're like, what the hell is this? And then comes, then comes the story has to be told, right? The walls speak, the interior speak, the concept speaks, but of course the customer, though they have been eating Punjabi food which never was Punjabi food, they have to be told that this is the real Punjabi food. This is where our staff trainings, educating our people, working on their communication skills comes into play. And I think it has been doing wonders for us. It was a big bet, big risk that we took when we started Ik Punjab. We recently launched one of our biggest Ik Punjab outlets in Chandigarh. we were like, if we will be able to pull a Punjabi concept right in Punjab, we can pull it off anywhere across the world. So Chandigarh did wonders for us. We launched the Connaught Place outlet 6 months ago, followed by one in Gurgaon last month, and I'm opening doors to my Greater Kailash Delhi outlet tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So thank you. So it's a great. I would say it's a big bet that we took, a big risk that we took, where new flavors, new concept, storytelling, and the product go hand in hand, and it works as a marketing because people, the customers do marketing for yours, for you. People walk into my restaurant and they start telling me the stories of their families. कि हमारे भी कोई रावलपिंडी से आए थे, कोई चकवाल से आए थे, कोई लाहौर से आए थे. People find the place as their own, and this makes a reason for them to go out and tell about the concept to others. This makes them talk about it, own the concept, and of course this is how the repeat customer the repeat foot traffic happens. I believe that is the most important thing today. The trends are run by this 4-letter word that starts with F, but not the F that Sabi uses in his kitchen. I'm talking about FOMO. And FOMO fades. What will happen what will happen to your restaurant, to your capital, to your investment, to all that you have done once FOMO fades? I have seen restaurants that have got a banging start, but then 6 months down the line, they are nowhere to be seen. And was there something wrong with their product? No. Product was absolutely phenomenal. You go, you eat, and you're like, why the hell the place is empty all of a sudden? The place is empty because the consumer is now going to someplace else, जहाँ पे social media में लोग बोल रहे हैं, भाई तू वहाँ गया क्या? मैं वहाँ नहीं गया यार. Let's go and try it out. There are new restaurants opening. There are 2 restaurants opening in a day. I won't say there are new restaurants opening every week. I will say there are 2 opening in a day. So I think the biggest challenge in our industry lies in retaining the consumer, making sure that people return to your place, and I believe food only will not make it work anymore. Yeah.
Understood. So it's food plus the immersive dining experience which will hold.
Absolutely.
Any more views on the topic, or I can move to the next one?
How are you doing with the time? I think we're out of time.
We have just 5 minutes, so
Okay, we can
I'm
take
also
questions, like-
conscious, right? So just one more aspect that I wanted to touch, right? It's always about growth versus innovation, and that's what many restaurateurs keep struggling. That now I've perfected a playbook. This is working fine. Now it's time to scale, and scaling up means opening new locations, but at the same time, should I continue and retain what I made, or just change it, like change my menu and so on and so forth? And then the question comes, right? And is it really a trade-off in restaurant parlance, or should they be seen as together and worked along? I know it's a more open-ended question, but just would welcome your thoughts.
Okay, I'll take this because I have been part of multiple chain restaurants, and then I'll pass it on. And so when I left Olive in 2012, we were in 36 locations, and it was not just Olive. It was Olive. It's Soda Bottle, which is the other brand I did. It is Olive Bistro, and then Chef Manu from that side did Fatty Bao, Toast and Tonic. This side I did I and Guppy. So what happened was, basically, to give, why I'm saying this is just quickly to give you an idea that you have now cemented your position as a leading restaurant or a restaurateur or a entertainment destination. You've got a great TG. Now you're cashing on the TG. So now the TG, every day, let's say you don't want to come to Olive, you want to go to another place and do another dining experience, which is where the Asian dining came up, or you want to do, I'm a Bombay boy, and I've grown up in a Parsi colony, so that was my ode to my godmother and my Parsi friends and family, is how Soda Bottle happened. Now it's nothing but it's basically Indian palate, right? So the Bombay Rani Cafe is nothing but you're eating Indian food. It's not North Indian, but it is Indian. So one day you want to eat something else and not European palate, then that option is there. So you now have a TG. Let's say you have a database of 10,000 guests in South Delhi, and you have an Olive, you have a Soda Bottle, you have a Asian space like a Fatty Bao or a Guppy. So you are now cashing on that entire TG that is already with you. When I did Big Brewski, it's pretty much the same way. You know, one day you go to a fresh beer place, the next day you go to Guilt, which is the nightclub space because you want to party in the the weekends, and third day you go to Bob's because Bob's offered you a space where you can go every day because everything was so affordable. Everything was priced at a point. It's like any of those old clubs like Delhi Gymkhana or Calcutta Tolly Club. Everything is 150 rupees. You pick up any drink, it is 100 rupees. So you never really think. You sometimes I have seen people coming at lunch and then coming back at dinner.
Interesting.
I have one guy at Indranagar who comes all 6 days. His Sundays, mother doesn't let him come out, so he eats only Sunday lunch at home. Otherwise, all 6 days he eats at Bob's. And I said, यार आप ऐसा करता हूँ आपको ना ये पंडी करी पोर्क पंडी करता है I said मैं आपको रेसिपी दे देता हूँ आप घर पे बना लेना because he said यार घर पे मसाला लाऊंगा get the meat tell my mother to cook it'll cost me more at 185 rupees it works better here. So I've seen this as part of most of these large chain groups that they have somehow managed to cash on a TG after building and solidifying one very strong, reference point. And then they use it as a byline. Like I know Olive uses it, buy Olive. Whatever the brands, or Big Brewski uses it, buy Big Brewski, like that. And these two, chains. And now I'm mentoring and handholding the specialty group, both in Calcutta. We are opening a new restaurant in Bombay, Thane, and now in Palladium. It's pretty much the same journey. These guys have a very strong database. They have a very strong team. So it's not just a TG, it's also your commissary. Bakery kahan se aayega? Bread kaun banayega? Nahi to outsource karo. Who's going to make your dim sum? Either you're buying frozen dim sum, no, you have your own commissary. So all that the bandwidth goes with you. So it also allows you to take that leap. So I think it's a both-way story. Solidify your front marketing, storytelling, TG and database, and at the back, carry your bandwagon. So when you have the opportunity, you play your best game.
Yeah, I would rather say that front end is only 25%, 75% of the game lies in the back end. That is where the proof of the pudding is. That's where the rubber meets the road. I think if your back end is not sorted, growing, leaving one restaurant and entering the second is a disaster. Both will fall.
No, I absolutely agree here as well. Like, for example, how Mr. Sethi is doing Ik Punjab. Third one, congratulations for that. And how Chef Sabi said, first question is what you exactly want to be when you're opening a restaurant. And when it comes to growth and innovation, like one thing is scalability, yes. Like now in Pune, we have made a market, everyone knows who we are. That's why we have covered brewery, bistro, fine dine. But when it comes to one specific restaurant, like for me, Faro is something which is very personal. How do I innovate at a restaurant like there? So that's where the industry, the collaborations help you as well. We could do pop-ups like my restaurant is shut every Monday and we only open for dinners at 7 o'clock. We don't do lunches at all because we cook fresh food every day and every dish has a story. But now how do I innovate? Because when a guest walks in, I have a lot of regular guests. Now the guest who's coming for the 10th time, when he sits and he orders that dish, my server comes again and explains him the same story. So sometimes वो guest बोलता है, मैं बताता हूँ तेरे को तू क्या बोलने वाला है. So they want something new then. That's where we decided that every Monday when we are shut, once a month we do a pop-up where we curate a story, we pick a region of the world, just like how we said Punjab is so big. And people still, when they talk about pan-Indian food, they say butter chicken and dal makhani. That's so sad. No one's talking about Maharashtrian food. No one's talking Kayast ke ghar ka khana, UP ka khana. So there's so many. So India ही आपके लिए इतनी बड़ी opportunity बन जाती है. So every month I cover one region. Last month I did Rajasthan and I covered it with a brand called Godawan. So that was a tasting menu with 8 courses, which is only open to 30 diners. So that's where my innovation and my growth comes in because my regular guest wants to come for that. So they pre-book एकदम से एक दिन में आपको पूरा restaurant book हो जाता है. So that's also something that we as chefs are doing nowadays.
Very interesting.
I think mostly if you talk about growth and innovation, both are very important. Without innovation, you will not get clarity. The clarity of a brand is very important. Clarity will lead you to product market fit. You will keep on innovation, you will keep on trying new things until you reach a point where you see that this is a product which everybody is liking. How you will know that people are liking that product? When their customer is coming back again and again. Any business, if you want to grow, only thing you should look, data, that is your repeat customers. If you have a repeat customers, then that's a point where you think of, taking that brand forward, opening new stores or different locations. So yeah, rightly said, like innovation is very, very important until you find the clarity, and then you need to find why people are coming back, keep on coming back, and then you have a formula ready to expand your restaurant. And of course, everybody in life itself is about growing. Everything is grow in this world. So it's very important for a brand to grow, open more store, so that people will grow. Lot of time people travel for some specific flavors from different places. We have a people coming in Kula from Noida, North Delhi. So they say we travel like 2 hours, in a Delhi traffic. So that's how you if you know the formula and you are ready to expand, you should go for taking your brand near to them so that they don't have to travel. So I think that's my take on this growth and innovation.
Thank you. And it's been a pleasure interacting with all of you and what a wonderful audience. Thank you.